5 to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Murphy,
Here.
Mark,
Here.
Dodd, here, Mallory,
Here.
Benwood,
Here.
Darling,
Here.
Brandon.
Here. Okay, please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible. Items only. So if you have any public comments on the agenda items, please stand, state your name, and have greetings.
Not the public hearing though, here.
That's right now.
That's right now.
No, that'll be later.
Okay.
We have thought agenda items. Yeah, still say
Here.
any other public comments right now? Okay, I will move on to number 5, approval of agenda and receiving file all communications. I make a motion to approve the agenda and receive and file all communications. Second. You have a motion by Councilman Martin, second by Councilwoman Darling, to approve the agenda and receive and file all communications. Do I have any questions or comments? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Against? Motion passed. We have 6, approval of prior meeting minutes. We have the city council meeting minutes from August 26th, 2025. I'd like the motion to approve the prior meeting minutes of August 26th, 2025. Second. All right, we have a motion by Councilman Martin, second by Councilman Bedwin to approve regular city council meeting minutes of August 26th, 2025. Does anyone have any comments or changes? All in favor? Aye. Against? Motion passed. Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing. This is for an ordinance to add chapter 100, archery deer hunting, to Title 9, general regulations of the city code to allow limited archery deer hunting within the city limits.
Mayor, may I before?
Okay, that's fine. Yep, he's just gonna say something.
I'll provide some introductory remarks. Okay. Over the last couple of years, staff has been approached due to a number of concerns about the deer population within the city. And I think one of the major concerns was about some of the diseases that are out there that are going on throughout the state of Michigan and throughout the country. Back in 1994, they had TB, which is bovine tuberculosis. If you remember that, it happened in Alpena County, so not too far from here. They ended up having to go in and wipe out the entire deer herd. And not only did it affect the deer, but it also killed coyotes, raccoons, black bear, and actually impacted the cattle, domestic cattle down there. That is one of the reasons why Michigan has a ban on baiting and feeding of deer. The second is CWD, chronic wasting disease. First showed up in Michigan in 2015. It's now found in 15 counties in the state of Michigan. Both of these ones I've mentioned, the diseases are passed between deer to deer. So the more deer you have in an area, it's not good. They can pass that disease on, and then that causes issues with the wild population. I've seen this chronic wasting disease firsthand on a property that I am a part of down in southern Ohio. And when you walked up the creek, there was body after body after body of deer dead. And then they were healthy until that point, healthy bucks, healthy does that got that. And again, it's not a pleasant thing to see. EHD, we just had an announcement in the papers up here. 7 counties or 7 areas in the state of Michigan have EHD now. This disease has been present since 1974. There's been major outbreaks ever since. There was a short span of 2014 to 15 that kind of died down. But between 2016 and 2023, 13 counties had this. Again, huge die-offs of deer. Again, you'll find them, this is, spread by insects, biting flies. But once again, if it bites one deer, it can bite the next. I'm not saying that these diseases are present here in the city or in the county or anything else like that, but they could be soon. Why we're concerned? The deer population is way over what it should be. Standard for deer population in a suburban area, and I don't consider us suburban, we're a city. It should be between 15 and 20 deer per square mile. One day last week, we had staff go out and look. They counted 134 deer just on the east side, which is approximately 2 square miles. So based on that math, we should have about 40 to 50 deer over there, and we had 134. Now, it does not count. My staff did not go through the woods, through the fields, or anything. That's what they could see from the roads and the roads only. So we're estimating the deer population in that side of town is probably double that. So we're talking about 268 deer to 270 deer over there alone. The deer car accident ratio of 27% of the auto property damage calls that the police responded to in the city had a deer involved. That's 27% of every accident that are in the city involve a deer. Many deer are either injured or severely wounded. Many of them are not found. So in other words, they get hit by a car, they go off into the woods or swamp, and then they die in the swamp. Or we do have a number of them that are actually killed outright. One of the things I've seen out there was, oh, we're only going 35 miles an hour. Yeah, but if you break a leg on a deer's not going to survive. So that deer is going to make it off the road. They've got a great will to survive, and they'll get in the woods somewhere and they'll die in the woods. And I'm sure that's not a nice, easy, painful, non-painful death. The next we have is property damage. The sedum rose garden, when they planted it, I can't remember how many hundreds of dollars of roses they had in there. They planted them within 2 days, the rose bushes were gone. So now they fortified that with a 2-fence system after we had some conversations. We have a number of people in town that literally have their entire gardens enclosed in a complex with mesh on the side, mesh over the top, landscaping. You're also seeing in some areas the damage to the forest areas. Trees are supposed to be down to the ground, but when you can stand there and look under the trees, that's from browsing from the deer. All right. The archery season in Cheboygan, what we're proposing, it follows DNR regulations and bag limits. The season would start October 1st and it'll go through November 30th only. Okay. The last 2 weeks, yes, I know is gun season, but in gun season, you can use a bow. There will be no guns. It's either bows or crossbows. You have to, all hunters must fill out an application, pass a test. So they're going to have to come to City Park. They're going to have to shoot their bow or crossbow and shoot tight groupings under 5 inches at 30 yards. So they're going to be experienced, good shots if they can do that. If they can't pass that, they don't get a license. Every property in town that exceeds the 3 acres that would like to have hunting, they're going to have to fill out an application, pay a fee. City will come out and inspect and pick out safe zones where the hunters have to stay and where they have to shoot. I have to look that up. All hunting must be done from tree stands, and all shots must be 30 yards and under. Okay. Violators will be issued tickets and fined. We have protected the albino and the piebald deer. You are not allowed to shoot them. Also, we are going to kind of remind everybody, and we're going to enforce this, is no baiting or feeding of deer, whether you're hunting or not, in the city. That is state law, but we will also start enforcing that from the city standpoint. We will give people warnings to cease that. And if they don't follow us, then we will kindly refer them to a local DNR official. So we're taking steps of, okay, let's eliminate some of the food that may be attracting them here. We have plenty of shrubs, grass, trees. But in Sunday, I almost hit a doe and two fawns. They were crossing Main Street going to the paper plant. And I don't know where they were going, but it's one of those things that you're seeing deer in places where they really shouldn't be. There's deer out here on Bacchus Street. We shouldn't have deer there. So we got to do something, and this is what staff came up with. And I guess Mayor, you can turn on public comment.
Yeah, everybody's pretty much covered it. I have some anecdotal stuff, but as far as numbers go, I have had 16 in my backyard all summer, and I've almost hit 2 of them on my motorcycle. They actually jumped over me and kicked their heels right when they were in front of me. One was a doe and 2 fawns that jumped out of the grass before the city mowed it down, and the other one was a buck chasing 2 doe. They've probably done about $5,000 to $8,000 of damage in my property over the last 20 years, and any little tree you plant is gone unless you protect the hell out of it. I built an 8-foot fence all around my garden. There was a doe in it 2 weeks ago, and I snorted, clapped my hands, and she jumped over that 8-foot fence. They're crazy. It's unbelievable. All they do is eat and shit and have sex. That's all they do. So, and they're all around me. They're all around me. I've been watching. Here's the other thing too. I never had ticks in my property until this population came up. And before they were just dog ticks, those big black ones that we can see. But my neighbor's dog had a little deer tick on her nose, and those are the ones that carry Lyme disease. I don't know if she got it in my property, or if she got it when she was out walking her dog in the park, but it doesn't matter. They're moving in. What also moves in when the deer population comes up, because I see these rhythms, because I'm surrounded by about 90 acres of conservancy and city property, is the coyotes start coming in. And I heard about 8 of them last night rallying at dusk, and they come in and they also do wipe out all the pheasant. I mean, not pheasant, but grouse that are in the woods behind me. So while they're coming for the fawns, and when the population gets big, every spring when the snowbanks melt, you find the dead fawns torn apart in the edge of the woods and the ditches around my property every year. That the population's high and the coyotes come in. Then they get mange and they move out and they run out of food and they just come back. It's like the cycle of the moose and the wolf on Isle Royal. So I have to deal with that. And I don't know about you, but if I'm a deer and I'm going to die, I'd rather get hit in the heart with a bolt with a good shot than I would be torn apart in pieces by a coyote. So I think we're doing the deer a favor. I lived in Ann Arbor in 2010 and 11, and their city council was having a big debate about their deer population. Just this year, I think they budgeted $240,000 for deer management, and they were paying like about $1,400 at the time to sedate them, sterilize them, and relocate them. That's not necessary. I mean, we don't need spend additional tax money on that. We can take care of it. We're equipped. These hippies in Ann Arbor probably aren't. We'll take care of it. Yeah, they eat everything. Pastas, trees. I once planted 99 red oak trees in my property. And when the snow melted, leaves started coming out, they ate 99 of them. They left me 1 tree. But yeah, maple trees, gardens, everything. I can't handle it anymore. Whoever came up with this idea ought to get a merit. It's a great idea. I support it. That's all. Thanks, guys.
So let's balance Eastern Avenue in the heart of the deer country of the city. Who are we to just say tell who and what can live or die? We share this land with them. We should not be just killing them just to kill them. Okay? I mean, we're better than this in this town, but who knows? Maybe Louis Blah was right. This town needs venom. But anyway, the supposed ordinance does not follow state law. There's nothing in there about use of marijuana, use of legal drugs, use of alcohol. I mean, how many of these shops do we have in town? How many of the breweries do we have in town? I mean, you got people stoned and drunk, and you're going to give them a crossbow. I mean, how stupid can you guys be? Literally, how stupid can you guys be to give a person a crossbow or a bow and expect them to be either be stoned and drunk and to be able to shoot something straight. I mean, DNR person right back there should tell you that it is a violation of state law to have intoxicants while you are hunting, and this ordinance does not state that. This little cut thing will state DNR things. No, your new attorney in Traverse City needs to be fired. Literally, you put it on there in black and white. This little backhanded comment at the end is ridiculous. Who are we to tell? We're not the owners of the land. We share it. Now, we are better than them. This is bad for Cheboygan, and that's why we're getting that. Pardon my friend, get the hell out of here.
My name is Bob Friday. I live on Western Avenue. A lot of people know me. I think what Mr. Valance just said is insulting to hunters, insinuating that they're going to be out there with drugs, drinking, licensed by the city. It's almost a joke what you said. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Please direct your comments to the council.
All over the country, this is a problem. All over, not just Cheboygan. Many towns have tried different ways, sterilizing here, moving this out, moving this. It don't work. The reason it don't work is because people are feeding deer in town. A lot of people. Ordinance has not been enforced in years. They came into town. Why? Because the cedar swamps are cut. That's where the deer live in the wintertime, under ideal conditions, when everything is right. They should not be in town. They're in town because people are feeding. 2 springs ago, I live on Western Avenue. You guys know how busy that is. 16 deer right down the middle of it, walking. 2 weeks later, thump. I asked my wife, I said, did you hear that? She said, yes. Saturday night, we don't go outside. We didn't hear no breaks or nothing. Go outside to go to church. There's blood on our deck. There was 6 deer that were running together at that time. 2 weeks later, the city manager said, the deer died. Gone. Not a very good ending to their life. And they just don't belong. We have, as Mary knows, flowers. We spend hundreds of dollars on flowers every year. Last year, we had to pull them all out because for the first time, they ate petunias. They went to everything. And once they start, city manager's correct. Sit there and eat and eat and eat and eat. That's what they do. And for those people who see these cute little fawns that are being born in town,
Can you just wrap up real quick?
that's an absolute no-no because that's all they know growing up is town. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Is it all right just to walk up here? Or is there an order? No, go ahead. All right.
I have mainly just a handful of questions more than I do a comment. I'm not really opposed to the city hunt on the deer. There's a large population. I have a shop down in Duncan. I watch them all the time. You guys know what I don't do. I know I'm obviously not against deer hunting. I make my living off of it. Partly. Well, some of my questions. Okay, so you said no piebald deer and no albinos. I think most everybody knows what piebald deer we're referring to. There's one that's down by my shop. Down at Duncan. Watching it for 3 years now. She's off limits. Correct. How is that going to be enforced? In other words, more specifically, somebody shoots that deer and you guys find out what happens then?
Any questions you have, you can list your questions and we'll do our best to answer them.
I just asked a question.
No, I know, this is not a question and answer session.
Oh, it's not.
You can ask your questions and
Okay.
and we'll do our best to answer.
Okay, that's one of my concerns, is that if there's gonna be no penalties, or somebody just gonna do it anyway. Is city, I'm not sure if city owns property, I mean, this is just private property, so. I didn't realize there was no question, that kind of takes me out of my, so, spiel, maybe,
Otherwise, this would be very, very long.
well, I would have been fast, and that's been a couple of questions, but I'm not opposed to the hunt, I just think it should be, I am opposed to there being bucks allowed, because, in my opinion, you want to lower a deer population, that's the goal. There are bucks being allowed, correct? I think so. I know that's a question, but I mean, how am I gonna learn something if I don't ask?
Right, so I'm writing your questions down.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, well, I'm opposed to bucks being hunted simply because I'm not gonna get the job done. I don't think the job can get done anyway, you'd have to have a lot more hunters than this partaking, but. The best way to lower deer population is to shoot female deer only. So I think that would be a better idea. Yes, that's about it, since I can't ask questions.
Okay, thank you. Well, are there any other couple of just stuff?
Name's Carl Oxley. I live on Division Street in Cheboygan, over by Mr. Bragging. We have deer, yes. You're proposing a deer hunt for deer on 3 acres or more. And that's gotta be apparently landowner or family, so they'll take 2 deer, eat a doe, and then you can take a buck. How many people have 3 acres? Is there 100 people in the city that have 3 acres? Say we got 200. So they take 2 deer, we get rid of 400 deer. Is that gonna solve the problem? No. Is it gonna start to solve the problem? No. I think something needs to be done maybe, but I don't think this is the way to do it. I sat on the council for quite a few years. And while I was there, the city residents elected me. And very numerous times I voted against stuff and other members voted for it. Because I voted what the city residents I thought they wanted. Not what I wanted. A lot of times I wanted something, but I had to vote against myself because I didn't think it was right for what the city wanted. I don't think the city wants this. And I think there should have been a separate public meeting, and it should have been advertised. So these could have a question and answer session. My daughter, she feeds the birds out in her yard, loves to feed them. Puts the bird feed out, what happens? The squirrels come and get them. Let's get a squirrel ordinance so we can shoot down the squirrels so the birds can eat that food. I mean, the whole thing's ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. And I hope if you vote for it or against it, but I hope that you all do what you think the city wants to do. Not the mayor, not the city manager, but what the residents of this town would like. And that it would be a good thing. Thank you.
Public comments.
Yeah, Mike Sylvie, there is really no way you guys are gonna be able to enforce people shooting. I mean, you guys can't even control Van Road right now. You can't control 23. There's people that are already hunting there, you know, and nothing's been done on that aspect as of now. Um, yeah, I mean, I talked to a DNR officer and, you know, there's just no way that he's going to enforce it unless it's a violation of baiting and or uh, license issue. They've got no, they don't care. They've got no control over it. The city cops, how many are on duty at a time? Two? And there's gonna be 400 or whatever people out there shooting something. You know, it's gonna take one arrow to make this a real bad idea. And the members up here are gonna be responsible for this in the end. So, and you know, we were talking about your 138 deer. I go down Van 8 every day, and there's probably 20 to 30 deer. I've gone that way 40 years of my life, and there ain't never been that many deer. Now, yes, we have a problem, but this is ridiculous. Like I said, you guys cannot handle right now Vanier Road. You cannot handle the road, the dirt road going between 23 and Vanier Road. You can't handle 23. You know, those people have been hunting there for 20 years. And I know they hunt there, they get big bucks all the time. And that's not to say you guys are proposing a doe first and then a buck. Okay? I can tell you right now, if I was hunting and I seen that 8-point come up, I'm gonna shoot that 8-point and I'm gonna tag it somewhere else. And I'm a sane thinking person. You know, there are some crazies out there, but there's no way to enforce a deer versus a buck population. Yeah, you can put on there, you know, you gotta have this permit, this permit, this permit. The problem is you guys are doing it in the archery season. Now, maybe if it was a separate season, then you can approach it. But there's no way for you guys to know if it was shot in the city and then transported out or vice versa. I mean, yeah, I emailed you the other day and, you know, um, it's just, there's no way to enforce this properly, period. I mean, unless however many people here are going to go out every day and check everybody, I don't know.
That's your 3 minutes.
Yeah, I understand.
Thank you. Thanks. Are there any other comment?
My name is Rob Winter. I grew up in Cheboygan. We've had problems like this before, but never this bad. I live on 7.5, 8 acres, class fairground and soccer fields. I do not want any hunters out there in the woods where my grandkids play. And anything happens, it's on the city. Just saying. If I don't shoot them first.
Any other comments?
I have one more thing.
That's a short question. Can you ask if during the next public comments? Because you've already used your 3 minutes. Sorry. All right, I'm going to close this public comments session, this public hearing, I'm sorry, and open that up to council. What time is that paper? Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, you're right. All right, 7B. We have an ordinance. This is another public hearing. Okay, this is an ordinance to amend section 130.03 of chapter 130 of title 13 general offenses of the code of the city of Cheboygan. Can you address that for us real quick?